is the star of the show. Thanksgiving turkey, and it's so famous it's got its own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. We're gonna walk you through every tip and trick, whether you're doing it outside on the smoker or in the oven, to give you a turkey that is done to the right temperature, that is so juicy and moist and flavorful in every bite. I even got you a bonus too, a new side dish. Roasted Brussels sprouts with cranberry and balsamic in there with it. And we've also got a holiday cake that will beat pumpkin pie every day. And I have 3 things that you need to know right off the bat. Number 1 is we're going to use a brine for this turkey, because what's it going to do? It's going to enhance the tenderness but also add a little bit of flavor. We're going to use a temperature probe because we do not want to have dry turkey. Nobody likes a dry turkey, I promise you. And number 3, whether you're cooking it in the house or on the smoker, I'm going to have you the times and temps that you need to be cooking it at. You can't go get him the night before and hope he's going to be what? Thawed out and ready to go, unless you're a hunter and you're out there in the woods and you're going to get you a fresh turkey and you hide behind the little bush and you go, and you hear him in the distance, and then you shoot him. This one ain't froze, you ain't got to worry about. But there's so many frozen turkeys out there is. Get him 4 to 5 days ahead of time, put him in the refrigerator to thaw. Now the night before, when you get ready to brine him the next morning, make sure you may have to take him out, set him on the counter a little while. How do you figure out serving size? Pound of turkey for adults, half a pound for kids. But remember, you got all them side dishes and the dessert to go with it, so you might lean a little bit less back than about half a pound. So the first thing we have to do is talk about this brine. When you get the peppercorns in there, and you get the sage, and you get the rosemary, you got to get all that to a boil first. We got our turkey out of the package, and you can see that if we look in here, there is some neck bone, and let's see if there's anything else in there. We can go ahead and cut this oil sack off and everything else because we don't need it. It would make good pup groceries, but just look down in there. Make sure there ain't that sack of giblets and gravy and liver and all that stuff. You might even have to pull this neck skin up because sometimes it's hid right there. See it? It is a surprise. Now, I don't make my gravy with this stuff right here, but if you're fond of liver, gizzards, stuff like that that you want to use for this turkey to cook it down and make that gravy, don't throw that away. Well, this was the brine that we boiled and let it cool off, let it set in the sink a little while, then I put a little ice in it to even let it cool some more. There is already ice in the ice chest. He's going to be so happy. Jump on in there. Make sure he is submerged. Make sure you keep enough ice in there to keep that good and cold because he's sitting in there 24 hours. I'll see y'all in the morning. Hope y'all slept well, because me and the turkey, we did a turkey trot early this morning. Got him out of that ice water and just set him on this sheet pan. If there's any moisture come out of there with him, that you've had him really dry, I mixed me up some herb butter. In the herb butter, what was it? A little bit of thyme, a little bit of fresh sage. They didn't have any fresh rosemary down here, so I mixed dry, some coarse ground black pepper, some mesquite seasoning, and some garlic cloves. Blended it all well together. Then for the stuffing that we're going to do inside here, which is not your typical stuffing, because a lot of times when you want to put your stuffing or your dressing in there to cook inside the turkey, one's done and the other one isn't at cooking time. So we mixed up apple, quartered, lemon, onion, then some more of that fresh sage and some fresh thyme. But first, we're going to have to arrest this turkey. I mean, this turkey has committed a crime. So to do that, especially if you're cooking out here on a smoker, we are going to handcuff the turkey. This way, we have created a natural cradle for that to set up a little more to where we're not directly sitting on that backbone. So try not to rip that skin. You can see where it's attached pretty good right there. So let's just do a little trimming right here to see if we can get that to turn loose. And you can see it will now. And just pull it up with your fingers. Don't run that end of the spoon in there, you'll bust that skin open. But just keep working it down in there to where
all the way down?
To where you can loosen that skin. But be careful and do not puncture it. So when you let this bird be warming up, come on out here and get you some hardwood lumps started in your smoker. Preheat it to 275 degrees. But we need to get our herby butter down in there. And this gets a little bit greasy, so I'm gonna glove up here a minute. Just get you some started in here. And then it looks like a big pimple. Just keep working it down here. If you can't push it that far, just work it down with your fingers. Well, he is buttered up, he is. So, we're gonna lay them fresh herbs right out there. Get them as far as you can. Mix and match. Get some of that lemon. And I did roll them lemons around before I quartered them. Make sure all that juice was where it needed to be. Fresh herbies.
What is it?
We have sage and thyme. Let me get rid of these for a minute because they're so greasy I can't hang on to them. I'm going to get me a little twine.
Get rid of that bee?
No, he's the Thanksgiving bee. Double your string up, make you a loop. Go ahead and put the hobbles on that turkey before he runs off. Give it a little pull. Now you can just run this one back over here. If I can get string loose off my finger. Wrap him around one time. All I'm going to season with is our mesquite seasoning and a little coarse ground black pepper. Now you use whatever blend you want. There is a blend out there that I really like too. It's Uncle Dub's seasoning. They make a great poultry season, but also for turkey as well. So we're just going to give him a generous shaking. And if you like to marinate your turkeys, hey, we've got a video to where we mixed up and marinated a turkey, cooked him a long time ago. We even have a video to where we cooked a turkey breast in the ground. Now we're going to stand him up right here like this, and we're going to try to get a little of that seasoning down in there. Get them legs. Nobody wants to go to the beach, you know, and part of your body's tan, part of it ain't. So we're going to let him have some of all of it. This turkey did not ever have Botox in its life, because look at all this. I don't want to cut it off up here to where all that breast meat is exposed, but I'm just going to give it a little trimming right here. We're going to give it just a shake of coarse ground black pepper. And this turkey is fixing to trot to the fire. Remember, I told you I had some tips for you to make Thanksgiving not stressful and get the best cook on your turkey you ever had. That is what? A temperature probe. And hey, I'm going to go with the people I rely on and the people I know that's going to get it right, and that is Chef's Temp. I would really like to thank them for sponsoring this video, and we are using the Pro Temp 2 Plus. You get the perfect cook on your bird. So we take our little probe out here, and they have redesigned this probe. It is the thinnest one on the market, 40 hours of battery life, and this thing will give you an accurate reading, but we need to get it in our bird. And you see, if Shannon will get in here, it's got this little line right here. It has to be at least that much in there. So I want to sort of get to where I'm in the meatiest part of this breast, and we're going to have to angle this, because if we went plumb through, we'd be going into the backbone and the cavity on the inside. So start at an angle here, and then just push till you get past that mark, and there it is. Now we can have this on our phone, got the little app. This is designed for longer cooks. Run your little program around there, and it says, turkey. Best turkey, that's what you're cooking, best turkey. And it'll give you the doneness temperature that you need to be. Sit there on your phone, you can manage the fire every once in a while, and you are good to go. But if you want to go more old school and just use a temperature probe, and this is one of my favorites, the Final Touch X10, give you an accurate reading every time and so fast. I always double check these, even though I know what the temperature might be right. I'll come, because I want to run this in these also, the leg and the thighs. I don't want to be moving this around all the time, so I will use them both. They're going to give us a great big discount for our customers, 25% off. Don't miss this deal because you don't want to mess up your cooking at Thanksgiving or anytime. For the Roughneck Hasty Bake here, had to lower them down just a little. I just put me some shims of wood in there, let it set right down on there. Could have put it on the Legacy or whatever got smoker you got. Just make sure you got some room on that lid when it shuts. But we preheated that smoker to 275. Added me a little fruit wood to that hardwood lump. Not a lot, 2 little pieces, one of apple, one of cherry. You use your favorite. Don't really go so much on a harsh wood, something that's going to give a bitter taste if you smoke too long, which I think if you had too much mesquite or too much oak or too much hickory, you might get that bitter taste to it. So our target temperature of doneness is 165. That's why we have the probe in there. That'll keep us alerted on our phone. We'll check the temperature periodically to make sure we're still running at 275. Might have to add just a little more wood right there at the end. For y'all cooking it in the house, preheat that oven to 325 degrees. Now, I don't want you to set him directly in a roasting pan. I want you to set him up on a rack on a pan to where them juices can drip in there because you might need them juices later to make gravy. And you're looking at 12 to 15 minutes a pound on your cook time. Say you're 3/4 done there on your cook time, but the top of that turkey, the breast meat, is getting a little browner than you think it should. So go over to the cabinet, get some of that aluminum foil, and just tint the top of that. That'll keep that from darkening it up. But remember, we gotta let this turkey rest too before we slice him when he's done. Now, if you think your Thanksgiving took some effort, try celebrating it in the Old West. Back in the mid-1800s, this holiday looked mighty different west of the Mississippi. President Lincoln had just declared Thanksgiving a national holiday in 1863, right in the thick of the Civil War. But out here, word didn't spread so fast. Some ranchers and wagon trains didn't even know about it for years. When the pioneers and settlers finally caught on, they celebrated it in their own way. Simple, scrappy, and grateful. In mining towns like Virginia City and Deadwood, the saloons would push up the tables together, hang some pine garland, and serve whatever they could wrangle up. Wild turkey if they had it, jackrabbit or prairie chicken if they didn't, and in boom towns, oysters were actually a big deal. They came in by train and cost a small fortune, but folks would splurge just to feel a little civilized. Out on the range, Cowboy didn't have trains or turkeys. They had chuck wagons. The cook might save a little flour for some biscuits, open a can of peaches if he had one, and maybe roast up a hunk of beef or a prairie hen over mesquite coal. They'd eat off 10 plates, pass around black coffee, and that was feast enough. There are stories from the Goodnight Loving Trail where cooks made bread pudding out of old biscuits soaked in canned milk, called it trail dessert, and that was about as fancy as it got. In frontier towns like Dodge City or Fort Worth, Thanksgiving often meant a church service, maybe a shooting contest, or even a horse race afterwards. Then everyone would crowd into the nearest boarding house for supper. You'd find hunters, soldiers, gamblers, and preachers, all sitting around shoulder to shoulder, passing the gravy and the stories alike. So while the East had silverware and fine china, the West had coffee pots, campfires, but the spirit was the same. Gratitude for good company, and a hot meal, and a simple gift of making it another year. Looking for a new holiday tradition? We found ours and we're going to keep this dish. So easy to make, and I'm going to eat every bite there is. You know, I used to not even like Brussels sprouts. Shan liked them, I didn't, but that's before I found out you could roast them little rascals and they bring out so much flavor. So I cut the little core end off of them, split them in half, put them in my Stargazer skillet, then I peeled me a sweet potato, chunked it up in bite-sized pieces, put it in there, then a purple onion. Diced it up, put it in, little minced garlic, and then drizzled it with some olive oil, seasoned it with our mesquite seasoning. We're gonna preheat the oven to 400 degrees and we're gonna roast them in there for 25 to 30 minutes. And I guarantee you when they're done, they'll clean the skillet out. To top all this off, we done added us some Parmesan cheese right here on top of it, and then some cranberries and some pecans mixed in, and then glaze that with just a balsamic glaze. But one other thing that we have done too is add a little bacon grease to it at times, or some really crispy fried bacon in there, mix it up just a little. Holidays are here again. It's hot. Let's go over our game day Thanksgiving meal preparation so you're not stressed. First thing, make sure you buy that turkey, get him in that ice box, I'd say 4 days ahead of time so he will be thawed out the day ahead. Brine the turkey overnight. Choose a dessert that doesn't need to be served hot. Make you a pie, a cake, or some cookies the day before. Now the day of Thanksgiving, be sure you remove that turkey out of that brine 1 hour before you're going to cook him, that way he can warm up. For dishes that you've got done that you're wanting to keep warm for the Thanksgiving meal, either store them in an ice chest or put them in a crock pot. Hey, we're changing up pumpkin pie this year and substituting our what? Our favorite fall festive cake. Y'all are in for a treat for dessert today because this recipe comes from a dear friend of ours named Heath. This is their old family secret, but he was gracious enough to share it with us even back when we had the coffee shop in Wellington, Texas, and we would make it in muffin tins like little cupcakes. It'd sell out in 10 minutes. Start out with flour, sugar, baking soda, a little shake of cinnamon. Whisk it all together. Then you're going to add what? Some eggs, some oil, and the pumpkin pie stuff right here in the can. Just dump it all in there. Get it all smoothed out really well, and then grease you a bundt pan, flour it, shake the excess flour out, pour it in there, and we're gonna bake it. So preheat that oven to 300 degrees, slip it right on in there. You're gonna bake it about an hour, maybe an hour and 20 minutes, depending on your oven and how it acts during the holidays. But hey, you can make these in muffin tins and people will grab them on the go and you won't have nothing left. You know, sometimes you can just wear out a pumpkin pie at Thanksgiving. People just think, oh no, let's change it up a little. Folks, this is probably the easiest thing you can prepare. It's so moist, and we made a butter cream cheese icing to go on top. I'm gonna have me a bite. It's been a long time since I've had this. It has. That right there brings back every fall memory you should have gathered around a table. You get the richness of the pumpkin, but that butter cream cheese icing, whew, this is a hit. That is a spread right there it is. I'd be thankful every day if I could just sit down at that table and have me a bite of that. So easy to do. Be sure you check out all these tips because we want your holidays to be stress-free. And that's what it's all about in cooking the perfect bird, the perfect side dish, and what? The best dessert you're ever going to have. Now, I would like to go ahead and just give a special shout out to the folks at Chef's Temp for sponsoring this video. Be sure and check out their website because they are good enough to offer that 25% discount on all their products on their website. So be sure and check that out. But folks, as you gather around the table this year, and we have so much to be thankful for at our house, we do. We have y'all in our lives. We are truly blessed to have each and every one of you. But let's be thankful for so many things. Just the fact that we get to walk around and do what we do. We live in a country where there is great freedom. We live in a country to where, hey, we can speak to our neighbor every day, tip our hat, help someone. That's what it's all about. Truly be thankful, not just Thanksgiving, but every day. And speaking of being thankful, and I tip my hat to all the servicemen and women and all the veterans that have kept that old flag flying over camp. Remember, when you gather around the table this year, it's not the legs that hold it up, but the family around you. And y'all have family in me and Shan. Get in here real close. I'm going to give you a Thanksgiving hug. God bless you, each and every one, and I'll see you down the stress-free Thanksgiving Day trail. But first of all, dogs love pumpkin. They do. Come here, pumpkin head. Look here. Whoa. Come on. Look, can you take care of this first? No?